My thanks to Bring Me to Life Radio, and welcome to the Cinema Scribe. Forgiveness is one of the most renewing and fulfilling acts we can undertake. However, it can also be one of the most difficult and challenging endeavors we can pursue, especially when a loved one, such as a family member, is involved. Nevertheless, the rewards that come from such a compassionate venture can be immeasurable. In this special edition of the Cinema Scribe, we'll take a look at two new fact-based films that explore this very subject from the standpoint of fathers and sons: A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood and Honey Boy. In A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, hard-nosed investigative journalist Lloyd Vogel, played by Matthew Rhys, may be good at his job, but he's not the kind of person others readily warm up to, especially the subjects of his Esquire magazine articles. The gritty Gothamite has become so jaded by his work, too, that he seems on the verge of burnout, not a good state of mind for the father of a newborn. That's why a change of scene is very much in order, an opportunity that comes when he's invited to the wedding of his sister Lorraine, played by Tammy Blanchard. There's just one hitch. Lloyd's wife, Andrea, played by Susan Kalecki Watson, informs him that his long-estranged father, Jerry, played by Chris Cooper, will be there. At the wedding, Lloyd does his best to avoid interacting with his dad, but eventually they run into one another, and it's an encounter that results in a fistfight. Lloyd's not proud of his behavior, but he has no regrets either. In any event, though, he's no better off than he was before the wedding. Upon his return to work, Lloyd's editor, played by Christine Lottie, tells him about the magazine's upcoming edition, a special issue devoted to heroes. She then gives him his assignment, a profile of children's TV icon Fred Rogers, played by Tom Hanks. Lloyd is floored and embarrassed by the assignment, but he's forced into taking it when his editor tells him that Mr. Rogers was the only one of the issue's profiled individuals who would agree to speak with him. And so, with his tail between his legs and a busted-up face, Lloyd travels to Pittsburgh to meet his subject and a surprise destiny. When interviewing the soft-spoken television host, Lloyd is intrigued by, but uncomfortable with, his subject, especially when they switch roles and Mr. Rogers asks the questions, particularly about his family life. The TV host gently probes to get at the source of what is obviously some tremendous but long-buried and unresolved pain. In their sessions together, Lloyd repeatedly tries to withdraw or change the subject, but invariably he keeps coming back, each time going deeper into his consciousness and coming to terms, albeit reluctantly, with the demons that haunt him. And as time passes, remarkable developments occur. Who would have thought that a children's television show host could work such wonders? In a more somber vein, Honey Boy presents the semi-autobiographical tale of writer-actor Shia LaBeouf's stormy relationship with his father while growing up as a child star in Hollywood. The story, told through flashbacks, examines the struggle of now-adult acting prodigy Otis Lort, played by Lucas Hedges, as he goes through rehab. During his therapy sessions, Otis reflects back on his upbringing, when his younger self, played by Noah Jupe, seeks to cope with the many moods and tantrums of his unpredictable father, James, played by LaBeouf. Recalling these repressed memories is a painful process, to be sure, but it's what it takes if Otis ever hopes to recover. As the story unfolds, Otis comes face to face with considerable pain. At the same time, though, he also comes to see that he was the son of a father who stuck by him, despite his ample quirks, and all through the many difficulties of their relationship. He also realizes that, no matter how tough James was on him, his dad always had his best interests at heart, even if it didn't always seem that way. Having made many mistakes in his life, James, a former and failed rodeo clown, pushes Otis hard in his work because he recognizes his son's talent and wants to see him succeed, to not make the same errors that he did. Granted, James's methods don't always work, and he constantly struggled to stay sober after his own recovery. But he was present much of the time in his son's life. The elder Otis seeks to reconcile these conflicted feelings, learning how to accept and to forgive his father for who he was and what he did for him. In both of these films, the pain that both Lloyd and Otis experience is considerable. But as they work through their anguish, they also come to grips with realizing how the experiences of their younger selves help them make them who they are now as adults. Both admittedly have issues as grown-ups, but they also have a lot going for them. Would such success have come their way were it not for the experiences they had? That's a question that probably can't be answered definitively, but we do know for sure that they flourished in their careers in spite of, or perhaps because of, their upbringing. Difficulty often helps to strengthen our tenacity, our willingness to succeed, to become who we were truly meant to be. In situations like that, a little forgiveness may help us to connect the dots and realize how we became who we are, something for which we may even feel more than a little gratitude. Both of these excellent films feature fine performances. In Beautiful Day, one would swear that Tom Hanks is channeling the spirit of Mr. Rogers. And in Honey Boy, LaBeouf is a revelation, delivering a performance far better than any other he has ever given, backed up by two fine supporting portrayals by Hedges and Jupe. The moods of these two pictures are very different from one another, but they have a common root, one that offers a wealth of inspiration, especially to those who struggle with the kinds of issues experienced by the film's protagonists. In this holiday season, when the spirit of goodwill tends to be on everyone's mind perhaps a little more than at any other time of the year, it helps to have films like these offerings to remind us of the power of forgiveness. It may seem a little strange that personalities as diverse as Mr. Rogers and Shia LaBeouf can help to show us the rewards that come from invoking it in our lives. But if doing so can help to bring peace of mind to the weary among us, there's certainly something to be said for that. I'm Brent Marchant, the Cinema Scribe. Thanks for listening.
A lifelong movie fan and longtime student of metaphysics, Cinema Scribe Brent Marchant is the award-winning author of Get the Picture, Conscious Creation Goes to the Movies, Consciously Created Cinema, The Movie Lover's Guide to the Law of Attraction, and Third Reel Conscious Creation Goes Back to the Movies, all of which provide reader-friendly looks at how the practice of conscious creation, also known as the Law of Attraction, is illustrated through film. Brett maintains an ongoing blog about metaphysical cinema and other self-empowerment topics through his website, www.brentmarchant.com. He's also the movie correspondent for The Good Radio Network and New Consciousness Review Magazine and Radio, with additional writing contributions to Smart Women's Empowerment, The Happy Guide, Library Journal, BeliefNet, Vivid Life, New Age News, and Master Heart Magazine. Brett holds a BA in Magazine Journalism and History from Syracuse University. Again, check him out at www.brentmarchant.com.